welcome back to my channel. Kind of dropped the ball a little bit with making videos past few weeks. I made that one book haul video, promised some vinyls, completely didn't get a chance to record it, so gonna do that now, and I think maybe I'll try and record a few videos in advance so I just have some content to post during the week, so I don't really have to bother to get up early and film it in the days that I want to post. But anyway, by as a by, and I actually have a couple more book hauls. Three more books that I hauled too, so I'll show them quickly. First up, I got The Wizard of the Quill. Got this for this great read along that's happening with Paola at Joy Your Book. I'll post a link if anyone wants to join the Discord for that. But yeah, really looking forward to finally reading this Wizard of the Quill by Nyungawa Thiongo, one of Africa's greatest writers, and possibly one of the greatest writers of the world, especially of the modern era. Yeah, I'm very excited to finally get a chance to read that. Don't think I showed this before, but if not, who cares? There's Something in the Water by Ingrid R.G. Waldron. This is more of an academic. I think this is more of a academic text, but it's dealing with basically environmental racism in Canada. Won the Atlantic Book Awards, won some Socialist Award, I think from the University of Lethbridge in Alberta. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Got made into a Netflix documentary. Got some really good blurbs, and yeah, it's basically just talking about environmental racism in Indigenous and Black communities. And so far, I read a couple, read a couple pages, and yeah, very academic, which is something I haven't read for a long time, but it's also very interesting and very intriguing. It's not like super dry, but it's just a little bit more thoughtful about where the information is coming from, I guess. It states its sources very clearly. And then the last one is something I've been meaning to read for a while. Guess when did it come out? Actually, 2017, so I guess I mean to read this for a couple of years. It's Annapolis Red Famine. It's all about the terror famine of the Ukraine, basically, where basically Stalin starved a whole nation, and as one of the many reasons why Ukraine and Russia have such a tenuous relationship. And yeah, I've been meaning to read Annapolis for a while actually as well. I still haven't read Gulag, which is I think one of the considered to be one of the seminal texts on the Gulag. But yeah, want to read this. I kind of I know Rainer Reeds was reading Annapolis in the Twilight of Democracy, and yeah, I was just looking at books, and this popped up in the deals. I was like, oh, it's kind of funny. He's talking about an Annapolis for ages, and now Annapolis book comes up, and it was $10, so I had to buy it. Like $10, amazing, perfect. Yeah, very excited. Very excited to read about genocide. It's fantastic. I tend not to have too many happy books. I read a lot. I don't know what it is. I tend to read a lot about genocide and racial hatred. I don't know what it is. I just find it quite fascinating, I guess. But yeah, onto the vinyls. So first off, have Funkadelic, Free Your Ass and Your Mind Will Follow, classic funk record from 1970. This is a great repressing. By Ace Records. Oh, amazing. It looks like it's Ace Records. 50th anniversary edition. So that would have been quite, yeah, that would have been repressed last year. Amazing. Fantastic. And what else we have? James P. Johnson, father of the stride piano. There's some classic. If you love stride piano, you have to listen to James P. Johnson. I love this old. I love old piano music. Got quite a lot of like stride and like boogie woogie kind of records and stuff. Just love old like bluesy piano. It's a great. What was it? There was a great film called The Honey Dripper. It was a John Sayles film. It had Danny Glover. I think it was Danny Glover in one of the roles as an old blues musician, and he was talking about, he was piano player. He's talking about how he became why he chose the piano, and it was basically like he just imagined when the first black person to hear the piano, because they have so much music comes from so much like rock and roll and blues and stuff. Like a lot of the instrumentation comes from Africa. The whole drumming, a lot of the drumming part. And he said, but we didn't have the piano. So imagine when I first heard that piano. It was a very good, strong argument. I really like that kind of argument. I'll see if I can find the clip. I'm sure it must be on YouTube somewhere, but I'll try to see if I can find the clip, because it's a great movie if you haven't ever seen The Honey Dripper, especially if you love blues music. And it's a very John Sayles movie, and it's kind of about the birth of rock and roll, really. The kind of transition between blues and rock and roll, like the electric, or at least electrified blues, which kind of then really kind of came up alongside rock and roll music. Yeah, but anyway, I digress. Next one, Roddy Law's Fever. This is perfect jazz funk. If you love jazz funk, this is one of the records to get. I used to DJ a name that I created with my friends called Fever, because Fever is one of the most covered songs in the history of Western music, and so many amazing covers, including the fantastic one by the Cramps. Huge Cramps fan. This one is fantastic though. This one's really good. And obviously the original Fever was written by Little Willie John. Not much is known about him, but he was kind of in and out of prison, but great artist. I think some of the more famous ones are like Peggy Lee. I love Peggy Lee's. I have Peggy Lee's version somewhere, but I'd say this one, if you gotta listen to it, maybe I'll leave the link down below as well. This one is fantastic. I love the dry ice. Dude's got a great mustache. This is a record cover. That was recorded in 1976. The whole record's good. J is for Jazz. If you're a big jazz fan, this is also a record you should probably own. J.J. Johnson, one of the foremost players of the trombone, which is not a instrument that gets featured enough in jazz music, or any music at all, really, especially as a lead. It's a fantastic sounding instrument. I actually really wanted to play the trombone at one point. I ended up playing the flute instead, but I'm not very musically inclined. I had a very short-lived short-lived music career with it playing the drums very badly, but that's another story for another time, maybe. But yeah, J.J. Johnson. Fantastic album. This was like $10 or something. Amazing. Jimmy Cliff, Harder They Come soundtrack. If you haven't seen Jimmy Cliff's The Harder They Come, it is a great movie, especially if you're more interested in kind of like Jamaica and in the independence and the colonial effect of Britain. Yeah, it's quite a raw movie, but it's a great movie. And yeah, this is the soundtrack. Yeah, great write-up. That was in the 70s as well. We've been going on a bit of a 70s tear. My wife absolutely is. She loves a lot of 70s music. She's very, very much into funk. I've always loved disco. She's been a little bit more hesitant to, but she's kind of having an epiphany now. So yeah, we're getting a lot of 70s music. And then one of my other great loves, and I have a fairly decent collection, not as big as I would like it to be now, is blues. Just love blues music. I have a few books on blues. I need to really read. Should get around to doing that. Especially as most of my non-fiction is depressing, so I should try and read something a little bit, maybe not. This is Mississippi Delta Blues. What's the actual title? Delta Blues Heavy Hitters, 1927 to 1931, and has the most amazing Skip James, who most people will probably know from the great movie Ghost World. One of his songs plays a very prominent role, and actually that's a really good portrayal of how a song can just like slap you in the face and just make you stop doing everything, and you can just become obsessed. It's actually a really, really good portrayal of how you can just discover, like, you just put the needle down, it kicks in, you're just whoa, and then you just gotta listen to it like 20 times, and then you just gotta tell everyone about it. But it also has William Harris, Blind Joe Reynolds, who I'm not too familiar with, which is always very exciting when you can find a new blues artist. Especially I love Delta blues. Anything from like Mississippi, Louisiana, I generally tend to love. Indiana too. Some of them were recorded in Richmond, Indiana, which is cool. Some classics and some, very excited to listen to that. I haven't actually listened to a lot of the records, even though I bought them a while ago. And lastly, another type of record which is quite a prominent in our record is Mr. Bongo. Wait, what's Mr. Bongo record on Molly? So what was this? The Original Sound of Molly. It's blue vinyl. So this is just a compilation record of artists from Marley. I don't know if there's a particular years they're from, but it's just kind of a history of Malian music. Mr. Bongo is a fantastic compilation album, or reissue album. Basically got a lot of predominantly African, but I think does a lot of world music as well, all around the world. Based out of London, so they are a little pricey when they come to North America. But there are other people as well, if you're interested. We have a fairly large collection of particularly African music, of all over Africa. I particularly like to grab any that I can, especially if it's like kind of a deep dive into a whole country. This is a a double record, double LP. Yeah, I have listened to this, and it's very good. You can also listen to this on YouTube if you want to look into it. Really, really good. The kind of rhythms and vocals are just really, really sweet to the ears, and I'm not very good at talking about music actually. So, but yeah, I'll try and leave a few links to these and whatever, and yeah, you can have a listen to yourselves because it's very hard to talk about great music. But anyway, that was my record haul. And if you like the combination of music and booktube, there was actually a great video I saw, which I will leave a link to below, and I will do it this time. I keep saying I will, and I don't. But I saw a great video by another Canadian booktuber, Toronto Maple Leafs supporter too, which is also fantastic. But it's called, the channel's called Maya's, sorry, I have to type it, Maya's Mega Fictional Musings, and it is by the great John Wayne. Not that one though, no relation as he says. But yeah, check out the channel, check out the videos, particularly it does a book review of The Naked Singularity, which is, you know, another book that gets mentioned a lot in BookTube as well, so it's a great review, but he intersperses it with kind of just the music he's listening to right now, and with a little dance party with his kids, which is just one of the most adorable things I've seen on the internet this week. So yeah, just check that video out, and I will see you again soon, and comment below at whatever you're listening to or reading, or any new records you got recently. Yeah, just let me know. I'd be very interested to hear what you're all listening to. So see you later.